What's up, everybody? This is Terry of NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. How you guys doing this evening? Today, we have Dark Night Paranormal. So, hey, give it a good hand, guys. Clap it up for them. Hey, how you guys doing? You guys doing all right this evening?
Yeah, we're doing great.
We are.
All right, hey, do me a huge favor. Tell the world where you're from.
We are in the DFW Metroplex.
Okay. Dallas, Fort Worth. Now, quick, serious questions. You guys aren't Cowboy fans, are you?
Yay, sports. I don't do sports.
Okay, the one to the right. What's your name there?
I'm Jerry Berry.
Okay.
I'm Ashley.
Okay, Ashley. Hey, we're best friends already.
Girls can't catch the ball, much less run it, so let's not bother.
I am not a big Cowboy fan, as the paranormal world knows. I make it obvious that I don't like them. But anyway, we're not talking about sports. We're talking about paranormal. So,
thank goodness.
Let's get down to it. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Jerry.
Well, I am a single mom, and I live in West Fort Worth. So that's part of the FW part of us. I've been investigating the paranormal for about 2 years now.
Okay.
And our team actually just celebrated our 1 year anniversary of our very first investigation together.
Wow, congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Now, have you guys, you remember where your first investigation was?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
We went to and investigated the Jefferson Hotel in Jefferson, Texas.
Okay.
And we did have some experiences there. It was intriguing, great little town. There's several locations that we would like to go back and investigate. Yeah, it's a very historical town, and it was a great time for all of us to meet, figure each other out, how we each investigated, and we've stuck together.
Okay. Now, how many are there of you guys?
We have 11.
Oh my God.
11 or 12 of
11 or
us.
12.
It works out because we can swap out who's going and not going, and we
Right.
still keep a decent size when we go on investigation. So it works out having that many.
Okay.
We all have
Okay.
different strengths.
Wow. So tell me, who is the leader? Who is the one that called the shots? Is that you, Jerry?
Me.
All right. Hey.
It's both of us, to be fair.
It's both of us. We treat our team as a true democracy.
Okay.
We have a chat room where if something comes to Ashley's attention or to my attention for a potential investigation, we'll put it in the team room. Hey, this is what's going on. Is anybody interested? What do you think? That sort of thing. And so we all make the decisions together.
Okay.
I do all of the research, the planning, the booking the locations. If it's out of driving distance, I book all of the hotel rooms, and I'm the planner and the researcher.
Okay. Now, when you say research, because I know me myself, when I get off work and my wife is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I get off of work like at 11:30 and I get home to like 12, and I'm up in my phone just researching things, trying to find the next investigation. I'm up wee hours of the night, sometimes 2, maybe 3 a.m. Is that the same for you?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay.
I do research at home. Like I said, my child is a teenager, so she's pretty self-sufficient when she's here. And so I can research at home. If I have downtime at work, then I do research there, and that's where I put things together and edit documents and all that stuff. It's not very often I have downtime, but when I do, I utilize it, and they're cool with it. So if anybody at work is watching, I don't do it all the time, just on occasion. But I'll put together like a snapshot portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
And then whenever I get home, I delve deeper into it and make contact with the, make contact with the locations and figure out pricing and all of that stuff. So we can present an educated thing to our team on letting them know. So if they want to go, how much it's going to cost per person. Because like we take the full amount, the full cost of an investigation, and we break it down, whoever wants to go, then we break it down by divided by however many people want to go. They pay their portion, and everything's paid. So it's not coming out of one person's pocket. And we do the same thing with accommodations. I'll book the rooms. I'll let everybody know, hey, this is the total. And they send me the money and I get there first and I get all the rooms booked and set up and ready to go.
Right. Okay. Well, hey,
that's my strong suit.
You know what? It sounds like you got it together there. You know, you really do. Now, your team, is it consist on half female, half male, or?
We're pretty even. We actually have a lot of couples.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know
we have a lot of couples. Me and my other half, we go. Ashley and her other half go. We have a married couple. We have
Adam and Nikki are friends.
Adam and Nikki are really good friends, so they come together. We have Sharon S. We've known her for a while now, and she recently actually joined our team. She's now a part of our team. She's a solo, but yeah, most of us are partners.
Partners. Okay, cool. Now, I mean, you guys are. It seems like you guys are, you know, closely knit team. I'm gonna ask you the question. Any drama?
No.
No drama whatsoever.
No.
Hey, you know what? You guys are the first, because my others, man, there's drama, and you know, it's something that people can't avoid. I mean, because drama is everywhere. I mean, it's in your clothes, it's in your house.
Drama happens when you bring in people you don't know.
Right.
All of us have known each other through some way or another. One of our teammates, I used to be her supervisor way back when.
Oh, okay.
So, and the person she brought in, she dated his nephew. You know, and the other couples and stuff like that, we've all known them personally through some way. The married couple, I worked with her husband here in Arlington doing the 911 system. So we've all know each other personally outside of this. So we've been able to build that into the team so that we can be a very democratic team.
Okay.
And it helps that everybody we're all equals.
Okay. That sounds really good, guys. That really does. You know, compared to some teams that have 20, 25 plus members. And you know, and the first question I ask when they come on my podcast is, how in the hell do you deal with the different attitudes? You know?
Yeah, no, we all vibe well together. No one really has attitude.
And that is really great. Okay, now you guys, when you guys go on investigation, what are you dealing with? Tell me your pregame investigation ritual. What exactly do you guys do?
We get to a location, like that town, a few hours early. We meet at an agreed location. We dinner. That we give like 2-3 hours to sit and eat and talk and game plan. Figure out, because like whenever we go in, Ashley's not aware of anything. She knows nothing of the location except the name of it and the address. That's it. She knows nothing of history. And so we talk about the game plan. Okay, so this is the basic layout. We want to do teams of 2 and 3 for safety reasons. And so everybody will figure out where they want to start at. And then we meet in the middle of the investigation, and then we swap. So everybody investigates different parts of the location.
Right.
And then after the investigation's over, the next day we meet for brunch. Because, you know, as every investigator knows,
Nobody gets up early.
Nobody gets up early. So we'll meet for brunch or lunch, and we talk about our experiences and what we felt.
I'll say she buys the lunch. Jerry buys the lunch.
No. Everybody's responsible for their own.
Yes. That's too cold to afford you. Okay. Hold up.
No, except for the investigation snacks. Everybody brings snacks, and we put them in a pool, and everybody eats off of it.
Oh, well, that's cool. Hey, well, what do you guys bring in to an investigation? What kind of equipment are you guys using?
One of our members, Adam, everybody buys equipment and then we all bring it.
Okay.
So Adam recently bought an SLS camera, which is awesome. That's my favorite piece of equipment.
He's got two.
Oh,
He's got two now.
Sweet. He's got two. Ashley, I'll let you tell him what you have.
I have the voice recorders. I have the digital cameras. I have K2 meter or EMF detector and a K2 meter. I have an SB7 spirit box. All of us have the Necrophonic app on our phones. I bring myself. I'm one of the psychic mediums on the team, so I like to use myself most of the time. And then what else do I got? I think I'm about to buy some more equipment for us. Adam has gotten some more equipment in. He's got more SB7s.
Good.
He's got that second SLS camera. He just bought more REM pods for the team.
And Ashley also brings the most important thing. She brings the first aid bag.
Yes.
There you go.
She brings the first aid bag. I bring to the team then an SB7, of course, spirit box, a camcorder.
The REM pod.
I have a REM pod that's stuffed into a frog. And since we go to locations that have children or possible children, we use the frog REM pod a lot, and they're really reactive to it, responsive to it. They love that thing. So yeah, the camcorder. I have a digital camera, the Necrophonic app, love that thing. And of course, tons of batteries.
Yeah.
Tons of batteries.
Okay, now Ashley, are you the most gifted one out of the bunch?
No, I'm actually still under my mentors. I'm trying to get better at honing what my abilities are. I've been doing a lot of classes, so I'm not the most gifted. We just have discovered I'm the most puppeteered. We had an incident that kind of, she thinks it's great. It wasn't so great on my end.
It was awesome. I got it all on video.
Right. Okay.
Sharon S is actually our most gifted. She's actually a renowned psychic medium who's the one that joined on. And she does do readings and stuff like that here in Texas. So she travels around a lot for that. She's one of my mentors. So she's guiding me and being able to focus more on investigations.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your gift. I mean, what exactly that you see ghosts, you hear them, or?
D all the above. So I started off more on the psychic side of things, just doing basic readings with tarot, pendulum, stuff like that. I recently started doing a mediumship class online, and I realized I was a lot more gifted than I would like to have thought.
Right.
I've been doing investigations since 2012, and the teams on there had their suspicions, and so they would kind of coddle me, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we went to a famous location and they never got anything. And the one time I was there, I mean, shit hit the fan, like literally, like we were rushing out of there because it was about to get really bad.
Wow.
And fast forward to now, when I started really trying to develop everything, things took a very far left turn, and I realized I needed to start learning what I was doing. And so now I can actually get responses from those on the other side. And the way I perceived it is I can see it in my mind, and sometimes I can see the word and portray it outwards to where I'm not necessarily seeing it in front of me, but I do see it. So sometimes I'll see the spirit, sometimes I'll hear it or feel it.
Dream about it.
Yeah. I
Dream
do
about it.
dream a lot, which kind of gets scary sometimes. I've had a few spirits show me how they've died, and
Wow.
trust me, dramatic.
That is amazing. Are any of you guys religious? I mean, are you guys really in the church or any of that stuff?
Some are. I can't speak to that. I personally am not into church.
Okay. The reason why the reason
I'm
why
more
I was
spiritual than religious.
right. The reason why I was asking that is because I know a lot of us, because I know what we do. We do a lot of, praying before we enter our facility or go into a certain location, so we do pray before and after, for the reason why, we want to be we want to be direct to whoever we're trying to go and communicate with, and let them know, hey, stay where you're at. We don't want you following us home, and all that stuff.
We do have a really well-rounded team. There are many that are of different, Christian bases or non-Christian bases.
Right.
And we take every precaution from utilizing the Christian side of things as well as the other side of things. We use crystal sage.
Holy oil.
Yeah, holy oil. I mean, we use all of it. We don't discriminate from any religion. I mean, like
Okay.
I said, we're a well diverse team, and so we do utilize all of it to make sure whatever is there stays there, because
Right.
we're pretty active in intense places. And
Yeah.
It's like you want to stay
Yeah.
there. You don't want to come home with
Yeah,
us.
don't follow me home. No.
Have you guys ever had anything follow you home,
Me personally, no.
Ashley?
That's kind of hard to say considering things have bugged me my entire life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you
I've
on that
had
one.
one negative entity bother me since I was a kid. And it took a satanic friend of mine to tell it to leave me alone. So, yeah, it's really hard to tell what has come home and what hasn't. I mean, we had a location a year ago that I'd never been to where one of the specific spirits there actually came to my house to make itself known.
Before we went.
Yeah, and I had never been there yet. This was my first time going, and yeah.
Wow, I bet you that's a fucking shocker right there. I mean,
It was. and this is the reason why Ashley doesn't know any history of the location.
Right.
So she goes in completely blind, so to speak, and she gets a read off of it and writes it down, documents it, whatever, and then
we go back and verify.
Okay. Now, the location, the city that you guys live in is Arlington, right?
Well, we all live in different areas. I live in Fort Worth. She lives in Arlington. Corey and
Cobus, they're based out of the Keller area.
My boyfriend David lives in Aubrey, which is up by Denton.
My half is in Cedar Hill.
And Adam lives in Midlothian.
Nikki lives in Florida now. Yeah. She just moved out there, and so she comes back for investigations.
Wow, that's a pretty big ride area right there. You guys do a lot of driving, I bet.
She enjoys it, so she's always happy to come home to us. So
okay,
so that's why I generalize we're the DFW area, because we are all in different parts of the Metroplex.
Right. Now, if you guys had to pick out of all those towns and cities that you live in, which of those cities would you guys say that you want to investigate the most? Because I know Fort Worth has a lot of history.
Fort Worth does have a lot of history. We know people in the paranormal community around here that can get us into the lesser known locations. We actually do a lot of investigating in mineral wells.
Mineral wells, okay, yeah, actually. What is her name? The owner, I can't think of her name. She was
Kathy of Hill House.
I think she was supposed to call me today for a podcast, but she never called me back. So I'm gonna have to call her. Hey, actually, no, I don't think it's Kathy. I think it
maybe Shauna Anderson.
What was the name again?
Shauna Anderson.
There you go. Yeah, I talked to her yesterday, and I did not know that she sold The what is that place that she owns that she just sold? Ah,
Nazarene. Nazarene.
yeah, she sold that hotel or the hospital or something.
She didn't own it.
Oh wow, okay, wow.
Yeah, she wasn't the owner.
I learn something new every day. Well, wow, yeah, dude. She was supposed to call me yesterday. Oh, supposed to call me today, and she didn't. So I am gonna call her back tomorrow and harass her. Okay, so yeah, guys. Another question: how do you guys feel about paying for actual investigators? Because I know some people don't like to pay, and some people love to pay. How do you guys feel about paying to go do what y'all do?
I am actually okay with it because what the location charges, that turns around and provides the upkeep of the location, the utilities of the location, the security of the location, the equipment that the owners buy to put in is not cheap. And then on top of that, you have the property taxes, you have the governmental taxes, you have the attorney fees, and all of that costs money.
Right.
So I personally am okay paying to go to a location. However, let me add this caveat. I do not think that locations should charge an exorbitant amount of money for low quality investigations.
Okay, that was weird. I just saw something over there. I don't know. Oh, that's my cat in the window.
Oh.
Get
out. Hello there, little gato.
I mean, because you know what's so weird? I'm looking right here in the corner of my camera, and I'm like, "What is that?" And you guys saw me look back, and I'm looking. I'm like, "What the hell?" And it's my damn cat in the window. And she knows that's a big no-no because she'll get over there and her tail will just start knocking stuff down, and dude, I don't have money it's coming out of her cat food. I can't do it.
Take away her cat.
It's coming out of the kitty litter and the cat food, and she can't afford to pay me back. You know what I'm saying? Look at her, y'all see her.
Send her to me, I'll take her.
What? I will express her quick.
I'll take her. Cat.
Well, it's a
live animal.
Right.
Well, it's a package deal. When there's one, there's two. The
I
other one,
have a dog and my roommate has a cat.
The other one is sitting right below me. See, now she's, I don't know what
just trying to get famous.
No. And they know they're not supposed. I don't mind her sitting in the couch, on the chair, but in the window, because you see, I got all my lights and she'll come knock them all down. Mm-hmm. So send me your address and I will send you both of them. No problem. Hey, I can overnight this.
That'd be a very large shipping.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I would definitely, hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something kind of crazy I did yesterday. I was in the dollar store. I'm like, dude, my cats sit around the house too much. They need some jobs. So what I decided, I went to the kitty aisle. I had to get the cat food. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute, let me get a dog collar and a damn leash. I'm gonna see if I can walk them. Because they're so fat. And I took their, and I eliminated their food. They used to eat every hour on the hour, because I'm not here. So when I'm not here, I got to keep the cat bowl in the water full. But now I come to realize, like, well, these cats are like 8-9 pounds. They're like babies. They big.
They actually make cat food containers that are automated. Mm-hmm. And they will only disperse food at certain times.
They owe me so much money. I don't think they can afford to pay me back. So, I'm not even gonna buy anymore.
Don't be ashamed to walk them. When I had my cat, I used to walk her all the time.
And you know what? This is the weird thing about cats. When you open the door, what is the first thing they do? They run out. Mm-hmm. But when you put a leash on them and you take them out, They want to
They lay
run
down.
back. They want to run back in the house.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? You know,
As every cat owner knows, no one owns a cat.
yeah, you're right.
They own you.
They own you.
Well, you know what? It's a new year. They're gonna start paying the light bill, cable bill. You
Put them on one of those hamster wheels. They can create electricity for you.
Yeah, hey, because they just sit around. If I can show you my couch and how bad, you know, and they don't like scratch pads and how bad they scratch stuff. I'm so afraid I can't buy new furniture until I find these cats a home because I'm afraid the only thing they're gonna do is scratch up my couch.
They will.
And I'm like, oh no, dude. I got a leather couch on the two sides. You can actually see the wood where they scratched it up so bad.
Oh man.
You know, so I'm like, I can't even have company over because these darn cats are just horrible, you know. But anyway, let's get away from those cats and get back to the paranormal things, you know. But anyway.
Hey, cats are part of paranormal too.
Yeah, you know, I see them staring up at things, you know, and looking up. But you know what? Every time I put a beer can down, they go licking my rim of the beer. And I say, you damn drunk cats, quit staring at stuff. You know, but yeah, they're my son's cat who's away in school. And I tell him all the time, like, hey, man, I got to get rid of them. I'm like, you're not here to take care of them. I mean, you're at school. Oh, I'll get rid of them. I'm like, dude, you're not here to take care of them. What am I to do? You know?
Exactly.
Drop him off at his dorm?
Well, yeah, I could do that, but I don't know how his roommates would feel about it, you know, but they're weird. But there's some good cats. They just do crazy stuff, you know, like all cats, you know. Okay, so Jerry.
Yes.
Your significant other is okay with what you do. Now, were you doing this prior to meeting him, or did you guys come in this together?
It's actually how we met.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And Ashley, were you the same way?
Him and I actually met before this. When I kind of introduced him to this is something that's a passion of mine, he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he wanted to come with us. This was something he actually enjoys, you know, kind of digging into because of how fascinating it is. And all the stuff he experienced while being in the military. So he's actually pretty interested in himself. So he wasn't completely shocked with it or anything. He was really open to it.
Okay, now Ashley, do you have kids by chance?
Yes, I have a 4-year-old.
Okay, now is your 4-year-old have the same gift that you have?
Yes. It's kind of funny you ask this. We discovered this in a very scary way. I was actually watching the newest Pet Cemetery. I'd never seen the old one, so I was like, I'll watch the new one. Hopefully it's, you know, tame. And of course, my son loves scary movies. I mean, Michael Myers is one of his favorites. And he comes in. I saw that face. So yeah, he comes in and he's watching it with me. And I was like, you know what? This is too scary for him. Let's turn it off. We go to bed.
Right.
And he was scared. So he curled up with me. And so I was having this nightmare that the girl in the movie that comes back to life was standing next to my bed, and she looks up at me and lunges toward me, and I startle awake, and I'm like, okay, I didn't wake up my son. We're good. Well, he turns over and goes, Mommy, who was that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
that is weird.
It actually ended up continuing into the week where he kept running into the room saying the mean man is screaming at him while he's asleep and he can't sleep. And he would tell his grandmother, my mom, that the man likes to talk to him while he's playing in his room or when he's sitting watching TV. And so he says things that's, you know, really out of the normal for a 4-year-old brain.
Right. That's
and then he actually stayed with her for a weekend while me and my other half went away.
Uh-huh.
And he mentioned the ghost in her house and
oh Lord, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Now, how often do you guys get out? How often do you guys investigate?
We try to schedule at least once a month.
Once a month? Okay.
Because, with work and life and schedules and everything, we have, I think our last investigation was in August or September up in Oklahoma. I mean, we've had, like birthday party celebrations at Hill House and that sort of thing.
Right.
But our last actual investigation was in August when we went to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. But with holidays and everything else, we all decided just to put a pause on it.
Now, is that a sanitarium? Am I right?
Yes, it's an asylum.
That's an asylum. Okay. I don't know if you guys ever met Ghost Geeks Paranormal. Have you guys heard of them?
I actually know one of them. She was one of my HR reps at my job in Arlington.
Well, what the weirdest thing is, while I was having a podcast with them, that's where they were at that particular night. And I've never even heard of that place. You know what I'm saying?
We had some very interesting things happen on that investigation. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Was it awesome?
It was awesome. Other than the fact of having to use the bathroom outside because there's no working plumbing there.
I hope it wasn't cold.
No, it was hot.
Okay.
Yeah, very.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was awesome.
Wow. So tell me about the awesomeness. I mean, tell me how awesome was it?
So even though there was no air conditioning and it was really hot in August and very humid, we had everybody, we split off into different wings and then we'd meet in the middle, come outside, cool off and swap. And like for me personally, I was outside cooling off and I was talking to David, my other half, and Corey outside. And I got a turn and I moved my arm. I'm like, ow, that hurts. And I looked down and on my forearm and right here is a huge purple welt, like a blood vessel or something had ruptured. No, I'm sorry. It was your other half. It wasn't Cobus.
Yeah, because my half was with you.
Okay, so let me preface this by saying on our team, we have EMT, we have a fireman, and we have a registered nurse, and we have a veteran combat medic.
Oh, okay.
So we have lots of medical personnel.
Yep.
Right.
So when I'm like, oh, this hurts, immediately flashlights, black lights come out and they start looking to see if maybe I had hit something, scratched myself, punctured myself in some way.
Right.
Go inside, we take pictures of it, everything else, can't find any kind of puncture wound or anything. And it was like that for almost a month.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Almost a month. And once it started fading, we could see the teeth marks.
Something bit you.
Something bit me.
It was in the full shape of like an adult mouth.
Oh, that little booger.
I love it. I love it.
She was excited.
I was stoked.
Wow.
And like I go to work and one of my coworkers sees my arm. I mean, it's massively black, like horribly black. And she looks at me, she's like, who do we need to beat up? And I'm like, a ghost in Oklahoma.
You can punch, but it's gonna go through. Just saying.
If you can find it. But the thing is I didn't feel anything happen. I didn't feel it when it happened. It was right here on this muscle. So when I turned my arm, it's like, ow.
Wow,
and,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we got into the actual light and like I said, the black lights, the UV lights, everything else. No explanation, no debunking it.
Wow.
I got scratched by the teacher because I pissed her off, but
several times actually.
Yeah, I did.
That is
so we everybody knows, okay, this is burning. I'm not touching it. Hey, y'all, come check. This is burning on my back. David, my boyfriend, we were talking. He's like, hey, my arm is burning. Can you come look at it? And I pulled his shirt sleeve up and he had 3 scratch marks on his arm.
Man, it seems like you get physical up there, boy.
He gets attacked quite often,
he does.
to be honest.
He's not a small man, and he's very quietly authoritative.
Right, okay. Now, you guys been doing this for almost, 2 years now?
I've been doing it 2 years. Our team has been together a year.
A year. Okay. Tell me the most creepiest haunted place you've been into.
Mineral Wells Haunted Hill House.
Mineral
As a
Wells
team,
Haunted-
As
yeah.
a team,
Some of us have done some, individual stuff, just as a separate entity kind of thing, or we've been invited personally.
Now, I've never been there. I've heard some good things and bad things about that place. Is this the place about the fourth floor where there's something really bad on the fourth? Because we were talking yesterday, and Kyle from Into the Pit, a pretty good friend of mine, another good podcaster, was telling me about that place, how there's something malicious on the fourth floor.
no, Hill House is only 2 stories.
Okay. Now, I'm not for sure which one he's talking about
Now, he
then.
may have been talking about the Nazarene when it was open, because that was 10 stories.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty
I have
sure.
been there before. So, but yeah, my most of the things that I have experienced has been at Hill House. And that was even me going in to assist, like whenever they have book signings, and then they open the house for tours. And I'll go and I'll help in one of the rooms and, give the tour, give the history, teach people how to use equipment. I've even had things happen there that I documented on my camcorder while I was getting it set up, and I had it recording so I could figure out the angle and everything.
Right.
And orbs were going into my frog REM pod constantly while I was setting up. That place is active 24/7.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was there for one of the psychic classes, and as we're talking about like crystals and oils and stuff like that, we heard like huge thumping, like somebody wearing some gigantic boots just stomping down the hallway outside the kitchen.
Wow.
We stopped, we were looking, didn't see anything. Next thing we know, we're hearing huge bangs, like kind of sounded like the police were at the front door, like they were hard.
Bang, bang, bang.
So, huh?
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. And then we kept hearing the women talking. We heard kids giggling. So, Haunted Hill House, massively haunted and extremely active all hours of the day and night. Like,
and
there's no downtime.
Yeah, and they have cameras, and they have cameras everywhere that roll 24/7. And in the kitchen, they have to set up where on the TV monitors you can look at all the different cameras.
Right.
And so if you're banging up in Toby's room, you can go look on the camera and see that there is nobody in that room.
And there's several angles in each room, so you can always get a different aspect.
Right. I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was probably my next question I was going to ask you guys. I've been around, I've talked to a lot of people, and most people say that paranormal is more active at night than it is during the day. Now, I don't believe that. I believe if something is haunted or something possesses a certain area, if it's active, it's active. It don't have to be day or night. I mean, that's just me. They don't.
Ghosts don't sleep. They don't have the same natural rhythm that humans do, that live beings have.
Right.
They're just constant existence. So they don't know day, night. Oh, it's time to sleep. They don't
exactly. Yep, I agree with you there.
Yeah, they just get you more when you're sleeping, because that's the most vulnerable. You let down your guard during the day, you're guarded. And so it's easier to get someone at night than it is in the day.
Right. And you know what? And at night, I don't know if to me, it's just that when I'm investigating at night, everything on my body is tenfold. I'm more alert. My senses, my eyes, my ears, the hair, what little hair I got on my arms, if it's just the way it is during the day. When the day I'm more of a calm down, but at that nighttime, shit, boy, I wish somebody would jump out of a door or a building. I'm punching them right in the face.
Honestly, your body is the best tool that you have, because one thing I've been learning through my mentorship and through my classes is that when you take the time to really understand energies and let your guard truly come down, and really pay attention to what's going on, especially in locations that are extremely active. Believe it or not, you can actually get more and more than you would on a voice recorder or a digital camera. Your bodies are so receptive to energies. That's why when you walk into a room and there's several people that are just bitterly upset, you really do feel it. Um,
Right.
and even if you're not empathic, you feel it pretty much. There's energies that are stronger than others. And if you know a spirit or an entity in a location are negative or are upset or anything like that, or very high energized, you're going to feel it going in. That's why we get these goosebumps. That's why,
Right.
like, you walk in and you feel that nervousness. If we just take the time to pay attention to how our bodies feel, you can pick up quite a bit and know when to start snapping that camera or when to
Yeah.
turn it.
You are so right because
Because like for me, I'm not near as gifted as Ashley is, nowhere near. But like I occasionally I have seen full body apparitions. Mine is more of a feeling of being watched, of someone invading my space. I can typically tell if it's male, female, adult, child, good, bad, that sort of thing. So it's just an overall feeling that I get. Like whenever I first moved into my house where I'm at now, before anything was moved in, my then husband, our daughter, and I were eating in the dining room area.
Mhm.
And I looked at him and he looked at me and nodded because the spirit, the ghost that resides in this house, made
Mhm.
himself known and showed himself walking down the hallway. And he and I both
Wow.
saw it. So yeah, my ex-husband was also accepting of it, of the paranormal, not as involved as I am. He's more of a skeptic. He wants to debunk that sort of thing, but we're not going to get into that. He's not worth it.
But but you know one thing I like about a skeptic? They hold you accountable. And that's
Exactly.
what I like.
Yeah.
They because that's one thing we lack on our team. We don't have a skeptic, and I would love to have one. Just to hear say, nah, man, you hear something, you're like, well, that sounds like a damn air conditioning
Yeah, no,
conductor out there.
whenever
You know,
whenever we're on an investigation and we hear something or feel
Mhm.
something, we do everything we can to debunk it. We
right?
don't automatically go to, oh, that was paranormal, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. No, we try to find the cause of it. Like at Broken Bow, there's many a wildlife that run in the rafters
Yes.
that makes a lot of really creepy noise whenever
Noises.
there's no lights.
Right.
And so that's why we have the handy dandy flashlights.
There's a neighborhood that's around that asylum, so sometimes the howling is coming from the neighborhood dogs. And then when the howling doesn't sound like a typical dog, that's when you run your butt back inside before they eat you while you're trying to take a squat.
Yeah.
So
Even though we are all investigators, we try to find a scientific, real reason for that activity.
Right.
And that's what true investigating is really
Yeah,
proving
it is.
actually paranormal.
It is. Okay, Jerry, I am gonna send you and Ashley some photos.
Okay.
And Ashley, I want you, since you're the one with the gift, I want you to tell me what you think they are. Okay?
Okay.
So give me a minute.
I am ready and waiting. Got my phone.
1, 2. I am going to send you 3. No, I'm going to send you 4.
Okay. It's like waiting for a present.
All right. You should have received them by now. No?
Let me refresh. Let's check Terry's man cave. Search that. Yeah.
It'll take a few minutes. It's just kind of how internet works.
Okay, that's no problem.
And I also want to make sure it doesn't go to my spam filter. That's why I reached out to you earlier.
Ah, okay.
Okay, I got some. No. I hate technology.
I hate it too.
And I'm IT for a law firm too, so.
See?
You know, kind of thinking about it, I don't actually know what the scariest place I've been to has been.
Wow.
I mean, I've been doing this since 2012. When I started college, my first year in 2012, I was actually in Connecticut at the time for my first year. I was going to university out there, and
Oh, you sent them through Messenger. Okay, I got them.
Right.
I was looking through my email.
Ah.
it looks like there's something watching you on this first one. The woods.
Yeah.
Like with it's hard to describe it. Within the tree line to the right, I see a figure standing there. That's where I see it automatically. That's where my eyes automatically goes, the figure in the trees.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Creep me the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the legs, the arms, the eyes, the face. It kind of reminds me of an elemental. I really get the feeling that there's something important of this land.
Yes, it was. Can you tell me what you think was so important about it?
I see a battlefield. Was there a battle of some sort?
It was a slave cemetery.
Oh.
Yeah, we captured that in a slave cemetery in Austin. And what's so crazy about it, we got there around 6:30, 7. You could tell it was still dark. I mean, it was still light.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I was fixed on that tree. I could say 85% of the investigation, I was around that tree.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away from it. My eyes still looked back at that tree. So I got the impression, and my body had the impression that someone or something was looking at me, but I just couldn't see it. So when I got home, and and I was so anxious, so when I got home and I immediately hooked the camera up to look at all the photos, because I figured out it's better to look at photos as a big image instead of on your laptop or on your phone. Especially, I got bad eyes anyway. So when I blew that picture up and I saw that person or whatever it was staring back at me, I was speechless. I could not sleep the rest of. There's no way I could sleep that night because I didn't. Because my mind went to racing on who it was, what it wanted, how did it get there. I wanted to ask so many questions. See, but at that time, we were, as in a paranormal team, we were so simple. All we had was cameras. All we had was a K2 meter. We didn't have any audio. We were like the basic paranormal team in its first years. We didn't have anything
somewhere.
So me just saying that, I'm like, oh my God, dude. I was so curious. And that picture that you see, that first picture, is one of the bases of why I do what I do, why I investigate it. You know what I'm saying?
I capture more evidence on my phone because I'm video recording everything.
Yep.
And I capture more things on my phone than anything else other than the frog run pod.
Yeah,
Right.
it's actually, we all do. All of us have gotten so much on our phones. I go through our EVPs all the time and I rarely catch anything, but every time we catch a recording on our phones, it's like everything is talking. So
Right.
it's odd how our phones pick up way more than we anticipate.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, dude. This little booger right here does miracles.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said this is in Austin, because wasn't there a battle in Austin? I'm terrible with history, so I'm like,
not a Civil War battle. There
so.
were, of course, the Texas War, the Mexican-American War.
right.
But not Civil War. Civil War was all.
No.
I didn't say it was a civil war. I just said it wasn't.
But when,
there was some type of.
Yeah, but when we say battle, we have to look. Let's go back in that time, in that era. What was that?
It was my kid.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right, my mom go to racing right now.
No, my house is just a plethora of ghosts.
I mean, but if you go back in that time, in that era, everybody is fighting. So when you mention battle, it could have been a battle of anything. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't have to have something that's really imprinted in history. I mean, it could be something simple as a gunfight, you know, slaves running or slaves something, you know, because we really don't know, you know what I'm saying? But for you to get that,
sometimes when I read, there's a lot of times I just get basic images and hard to interpret sometimes or to vocalize it. Because trying to read the land is very difficult because there's so many things that happen on one piece of land.
Right.
So many layers.
Yeah. So I may be getting a battle right now, but ask me in a week and I may be seeing something else. Each time you try to read the same things, sometimes you get different things or you get the same things over and over. So I mean, that could be what it is too.
Right. Now, what do you see in the tree? I think I sent you one with a big tree.
Okay, so the second.
I don't know that photo. No.
Second one we're on is the one. It is in a cemetery with
this one.
With the tombstone.
Yeah, what do you see in that one?
So I'm automatically drawn to the tree in the far left of the picture. What I see is something with distinct ears. Not humanoid ears either. But I mean,
excuse me, I'll be right back. I just heard the girl say they're going to the car.
I really want to say there's like an animal in the tree, but I can't tell what it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I also kind of notice the tree line in the back, far back, like on the other side of the fence.
Wow, you're good. Because I'm going to send you another picture of the same thing, but with me circling it. I wonder if you see what exactly we saw. If you can blow that up.
Oh, wow.
You see the little kid?
Yeah.
So supposedly a little kid. I mean, I see a small face. Now, I don't know exactly, you know, because when we, because when a professional goes and analyzes, most of them would say it's just nature.
No, you can distinctly see it, like in the tree itself. you can clearly see the eye socket, the nose, and the top of the lip with the side of the face. I mean, that's
Right.
the first thing that drew me. And then at the bottom, right above the tombstone, it looks like there's a woman.
Yeah, a woman or a child. I'm not quite sure, but it looked like it's actually into the fence. So therefore, I don't know if it's in the fence or outside of the fence, but you can clearly see a small, it looked like it might be a small female child or a
Yeah.
something. And it's okay. Now, if you can go back to the original picture, let's see if you pick up something else that blew my mind. Because I did not pick up on it until I actually had to blow this picture up to actually see it. I'm gonna send you that picture. See what you think.
Still really, yeah, my brain is still really going towards the tombstones now.
It looked like a Union or a Confederate soldier to me. You can actually see the head, the shoulder, the arms. And if you look close, you can see eyes, a mouth, and it looked like to me that it's holding something. I'm not sure what. I might be wrong, but standing right over that tall white tombstone.
Oh, yeah. I see him now. It looks like it's his bayonet.
It looked like it's, I mean, I have no clue, but
It looks like
that is really amazing.
Excuse us, we're on a podcast.
Uh-oh.
Let me get this one. Stand by. Mom was coming out.
So, yeah, I mean, that is just some of the things that, we've caught here in Central Texas, where the history is so deep here, because there's so many things that happen. It seems like the farther south of to the border it gets, a little bit more history, and it just gets a little bit crazy as farther south you go.
Well, and Texas has such a violent history.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously not as violent as other parts of the United States, but we still have our own share of violence.
Yeah.
And that scars the land.
Yeah.
Drastically.
And and that's one of the reasons when I have a podcast with different paranormal teams from all over the state of Texas, and I always ask them, what makes your area stand out from the rest of Texas? Because like you saying, Jerry, there's there's so much drama and chaos all over the state where it's, I can't even put in words.
Yeah, I mean, like
how it is.
The stockyards, that was Hell's Half Acre in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Miss Molly's brothel, mineral wells, and those are just in the DFW area that are the most prominent, especially the stockyards. But it's Fort Worth is old.
So Denton, you have Goatman's Bridge. Arlington, you have River Legacy, where Screaming Bridges is. You have the Hell's Gate. They have a Hell's Gate there. They have the Hanging Tree. Then you start going to Dallas, and you've got the mansions, the hotels.
Yeah, there is so much history. And I know And when it comes to Texas history, like you say, it's a little chaotic. It's a little, bloodshed and stuff over there. So, because when we look in other states, let's say Louisiana, for instance.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know where to start.
There is no place to start.
I wouldn't even know where to start with that place, because everything there is dark.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no light at the end of that tunnel. It just gets darker and darker and darker and darker as you go. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the paranormal world, I mean, it's just crazy, and that's why I love it so much, because all the rich, it's so rich in history, and and you can learn so much, just by talking to the dead or let the dead talk to you, and my wife think I'm crazy because I do this, but if you're a big history buff like myself, then you would know why.
Me.
I'm just intrigued by the dead folks, to be honest.
So I grew up where our family vacations, we didn't go on fun vacations like Disneyland and Disney World and stuff like that. We went to Civil War locations. We went to historical locations. So those were my vacations growing up, was learning about American history from the actual sites, and not to learn from the history books that we learn in school. And I got in trouble in history class my freshman year because I stood up and I told my history teacher that the history book was wrong. It was wrong.
Oh yeah.
And mom had to go through, and this was back in the day when you had the rolls of film, you had to develop, you had to wait a week, all that fun stuff.
Exactly.
My mom had to rush every single film roll that she had to get the shot of the historical plaque to bring to the school to keep me from being suspended from school.
Wow.
No, I don't believe and I don't trust in the history books because they don't tell the true history of this country or this state.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I wish I had a time machine. If I had a time machine, I would figure all this out. It'd be so simple, especially walking around with this. You'll be able to document every little thing. Hey, how far are you guys from Huntsville, Texas?
Huntsville's about what, 3 hours?
Huntsville, yeah. Well, 3 to 3.5.
Yeah, depending on how many Buc-ee's you stop at.
Buc-ee's. Okay. Have you guys ever investigated there?
Not yet.
Okay. Now, Demons Road, Martha's Cemetery.
I have found that one. Those two are on our list. I have been looking at different locations here in the state of Texas for us to drive to.
Yeah.
And those two are actually on my list. I've done a little bit of background on those. And it's interesting what people get and see and everything. I was told, well, at least from what I've read, it leads up to a church that's also haunted from what I've seen.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, so the church is haunted too. That's peculiar. So it's definitely on our to-go place.
Now, we were supposed to go there back in January. We're supposed to have that was supposed to be in one of our biggest investigations. That was supposed to put NSPS TV on the map. But due to the weather in that part of the state, which gets a little crazy at times, so we had to cancel that on that. But me doing a lot of history on it and watching a lot of YouTube videos when other people have went there, and investigated, and and I'm curious, because on one particular YouTube channel, somebody chased somebody out of the cemetery. Now I don't know if they were, if these guys were disrespecting the cemetery, which I'm pretty sure they were probably kids, you know, doing what kids do, you know, but they say, now I'm a big critic, but they say that that cemetery and that particular Demon's Road is probably one of the most haunted places in Central Texas. And you guys never been there, so I urge you guys to go check out the YouTube channels, you know, just to see what you guys think. You know, with me, that's a very sticky subject, because I know people have gotten to fights over saying, well, this is the most haunted, that's the most haunted, you know, and I'm like, dude, hold up. How do you people know what's the most haunted place in the state or in the country if everybody hasn't been to every place that's haunted? I don't understand that.
And it's all about each person and each group's perception. You know, we enjoy doing it. We enjoy the camaraderie whenever we all get together and get to hang out and get to catch up and everything else. We have fun during investigations. We're serious, but we have fun. And we enjoy our interactions and the evidence that we've captured, and we share that. And like I said, just me personally, the most experiences that I've had has been at Hill House. Because, you know, I've been there so often. So of course I'm going to have more experiences there because I've been there so often. And
but I mean, I've been to Yorktown Memorial, and that's one of Texas's top. And even when I was there, it was fairly quiet. I've been to famous places in Pennsylvania, in Connecticut, and even though they may be hyperactive, doesn't necessarily mean that night they're going to be active. I mean, even the most haunted of places can be the most quiet on certain nights. It really just depends on whether or not they feel like being ghosts, you know?
Yeah, they feel like being bothered. I mean, they feel like, hey man, ghosts, one thing I've noticed about ghosts is if they want to get up and party and dance, they're going to do that. No ifs and buts about it. I mean, if they want to recuperate from the night before and not do nothing and just chill out, that's what they're going to do. You know?
And I think a lot also has to do with the energy level in the group. And we've experienced that ourselves, because we invite people not part of our group to come on investigations, introduce people to paranormal investigating in a safe way. And they bring in this energy and just very Debbie Downer type thing. And it brings the whole group down. It brings the energy level of the location down. And it makes for a disappointing investigation. So a lot of people come in and they think it's all ghost adventures and all these TV shows and all the stuff that's edited. And it's
most of the time it's you giggling in the dark at each other.
That's
really what it is.
But ooh, what's that?
Yeah, pretty much. Because they like to scare me.
Right? You guys be surprised how often I go to work and I had an investigation the night before, and people will come up to me and ask me, how'd it go? Did you catch any ghosts? Did you see any ghosts? And if I tell them no, it was a quiet night, do you know how these guys will actually be disappointed? And I try to explain to them, I'm like, hey guys, it's not all about that. It's not all about catching a ghost every night. Most of all, you can't catch a ghost because we're not Ghostbusters.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't have the plasma boxes.
We don't have all that, you know, we don't have Echo One that goes around the city and doing what they're doing, you know, but it's not about that. So, you know, don't feel like, you know, let down just because I say no, you know, I didn't catch anything. You know, if anything, let me be the one
skewed from the TV shows, because what it is they're taking 3 days worth of investigating of overnights and snippeting it down to an hour's worth for TV. And if they really have 3 days of absolute nothing, well, they can't just air that. They've got to create something.
Oh yeah, they're gonna edit something.
They'll hear stuff out of nowhere. And then other times they're actually legitimately catching something. But we really have learned that it really is the energy we bring in. If we're hyped up and ready to go, we've charged the place up. And then the minute you start getting tired, that's when things start to die down.
Die down. Exactly.
So it's the more active you stay, the more the place stays.
You know, I've noticed that because it seems like when we're at an investigation, like you say, Ashley, everything is all hyped up, you know, but as I get tired, as the night goes on, everything settles down.
Yep.
I mean, like I say, the first hour, I mean, we're catching some good evidence. I mean, things are happening left and right, but as time goes down, you know, it just gets quiet.
Well, and spirits use your energy to interact. And so that's draining to you. So by the end of the night, you're exhausted because you don't have any more energy to use.
You, right. You're exactly right.
A lot of people understand that.
And I've come across that a lot on my investigations. And I'm like, dude, I am so pooped. I mean, wow, man, what the hell?
Yeah, because by like 2 or 3 in the morning, you're like, man, I feel like I'm about to hit the bucket.
Did you just see that go in front of his shirt?
Right. How often do you guys investigate? I mean, what is
just an orb go in front of your shirt?
An orb in front of my shirt? It's probably a dust mite or something. I don't know. Are you sure?
I was haunted.
Go home.
Just saying, review the footage.
I'm right.
Something just floated across your shirt towards your ring lights.
Sure, it ain't my cat?
No,
maybe not this time.
Not this time.
Okay. I mean, how often do you guys stay out and investigate?
It's usually overnight. We'll get someplace like on Saturday. We'll investigate Saturday night, go home Sunday.
So usually it's an overnight thing, you know. And if you guys had a choice of what to investigate, I mean, because there's different, you know, variety places you can go to investigate. What place would be the most ideal for Dark Night Paranormal? Where would you guys like to hang out at?
In my opinion, a place that has indoor plumbing.
Oh,
ideal. I mean, I'm a country girl. I'm okay with, you know, doing what needs to be done outside. Not this girl. And also whenever we're on an investigation outside, like at a cemetery, especially very rural, there is wildlife that will eat me or at least attack me. And I don't like being vulnerable and being attacked by an animal that can kill me. So I prefer indoor plumbing.
Okay. Wow.
I'm kind of iffy. I'm really drawn to a lot of buildings. For me, I really like old historical, like prisons, homes, stuff like that. Hospitals and asylums, they are rough on me, especially energy wise. They bring me down a lot faster, especially because I see things that everybody else doesn't. And it gets more intense very quickly. Whereas being like in a prison or a home, it's a way different energy level than walking into an asylum where people were beaten to death or shoved in a corner and forgotten about, or a hospital where people are dying left and right. That kind of thing does take a higher toll than it would be going into a prison where there's riots or more of the aggressive feelings. Believe it or not, the sadder the feeling, the more drainage it goes. Whereas the more aggressive, excitatory, the energy goes in a different direction. At least that's how it feels to me. And then the visual of things tends to get a little more graphic in one direction than the other.
I mean, I can picture you going by a cemetery, and I bet you just go crazy. I mean, because there's
cemeteries. For me, going in a cemetery, I feel like, and this is just me personally and how I feel, I actually feel like I'm being extremely disrespectful just trying to get to a specific grave because I feel like I'm stepping on everybody.
Right.
Go to cemeteries, I'm constantly, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get through. I apologize. Here you go. Terribly sorry. But then at the same time, for me, when I walk into a cemetery, there's actually, believe it or not, most of them don't really have anybody there. The ones that are the ones that are mostly at the cemetery are the ones that don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any family. They don't have any ties. And it's mostly because just because your body is there doesn't mean you have ties to that place.
Right.
Most of the time the dead go back to where they know. So when we go through cemeteries, it's actually pretty quiet. There's not much there unless that spirit doesn't have anywhere to go. Then they'll kind of just roam the cemetery. And that's why when you take pictures of a cemetery, you'll get maybe one or two things, but then most of the time you don't get anything. That's really what it is they go somewhere else. They go to what's known, not this random ground they don't know.
Wow, that is something. I've learned a lot today, guys. It's amazing, how you can just sit and talk and, and you just learn so much, especially with you, Ashley. I mean, you seem like you got a gift there.
He does.
Because
I've made her cry doing a reading, so
at work.
Yeah.
Because that one picture that I showed you that I didn't actually circle, and you were able to pick that one up by the fence. I mean, because a lot of people wouldn't even pick that up, so kudos to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm thinking is you're just gonna get stronger as you get older, and once you really, really come to understand your gift, then the world is really gonna open up to you, and you're gonna go off and do great things.
Yeah, she's an amazing part of the team.
So I wish I had a medium on my team. The one that we thought we had got into a fist fight with her boyfriend, and she ended up moving to Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, at least you won the fight, right?
I mean, I'll fight a person, but that's because I'm defending somebody else.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm not afraid to throw hands.
How do you guys feel about your phone apps, ghost apps, and stuff like that? I heard you mention one app that you have on your phone.
Yes, the Necrophonic app.
Yeah, I've never used it. I've heard good things about it.
It is fantastic.
Yes.
We
Okay.
were on an investigation. I won't disclose specific information, but it was a very old cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And her significant other was on that investigation, and I was running the Necrophonic app on my phone, and it was picking up and saying his daughter's name, which is not a common name. It kept saying, "It's Bob. Bob did it. It's Bob. It's Bob."
My other half's name is Bob.
Yes.
And his daughter has a very distinct name that he never said any point in time from the time we arrived to the time we left, never said her name. And it said her name about 3 to 4 times.
Wow.
We were called witches and told, "Witches, get out. You don't belong."
We were told we were going to burn about 3 times.
Yeah, we were going to burn. So once we stepped outside of the cemetery fence and gates and stepped off of the sacred ground, it stopped.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, all the guys were being praised when we stepped off. They were like, "Keep them off, don't come near us."
Yeah, and we were the only 2 females that night.
Yeah.
I've because I heard you mention that your friend bought 2 SLS cameras.
Yes.
Okay.
I love those things.
How do you feel? Have you guys used the app?
I haven't. I don't really know anybody that has used it and has verified its accuracy. Several people told me about the Necrophonic app, and that's the only reason why I paid the $10 to download this app. because it was verified by multiple people that I know in the paranormal field that it is valid. It's, I guess I'm more of a skeptic on the team.
You really are, because you'll sit there and try to take every angle possible. You and Sharon are even though Sharon is another psychic on the team with us, you guys really are the most skeptic. And I'm just okay, well, I see the dead person walking behind it, so I'm just going to go to this room and just kind of ignore it.
So no, I've downloaded a few of the free ghost hunting apps, and it's just, it's
there's a lot of fun.
It's for entertainment value only.
We use 2. I don't remember what the other one is, but like you can see when the energy levels raise up, and then it'll give words. I don't remember what that one's
The
called.
Oculus.
The Oculus. Okay.
I want one of those so bad, and they're so expensive. Oh my god.
Well, there's an Oculus app, and one of our team members.
Oculus.
Is it the Oculus?
Yeah, okay.
The Oculus app. It shows bars of energy going up and down, as well as gives words. We actually have really good accuracy with that one, as well as the Necrophonic app. But to be honest, I didn't even know there was an SLS app. That might actually be worth something looking into just to poke around.
Actually, I use that app, and it's I can say it's been correct on some great things that, it works. And the ghost tube, and I actually use the ghost tube also.
Okay, ghost tube?
Yeah, the ghost tube. It's actually good too. I think those both of those are like 4 out of 5. I mean, they're pretty good. And that SLS, it helps me because there's no way I can afford $400 to $500 buying the actual one. You know what I'm saying? Those things are.
We've actually been building ours. It is a lot cheaper to build your own SLS camera, knowing what parts you need. It's cheaper doing it that route than buying an actual SLS, which is like $2,000.
Yeah, it ain't no joke, dude. Those things are. Once you start messing with that type of money, you start messing with my beer money, and I can't have that. And I can't have that at all. Okay, ladies.
And that's what's good about our team is everybody brings in equipment.
Right.
And so it's not all just on one person.
Yeah.
Right. Now, do you guys have any, because I just bought 3 of them, GoPros. Do you guys use GoPros?
No.
I'm actually looking into the GoPros to do POV, because I kind of feel like we miss a lot when we're too busy aiming the camera everywhere and not actually utilizing what our bodies are facing.
Exactly.
So I've actually been looking into the GoPros just because I feel like that would be a smart thing to do to wear as a chest plate.
Yeah.
We actually have game cameras. Jerry has some game cameras. Those are really great to use as chest plates too.
And they have night vision.
Yeah. I just bought 3 GoPros with night vision 4K. And dude, I only spent like $25 for each one. So they're not bad. The only thing I hate about it is the strap don't come with it. So you got to spend an extra $4 or $5 for the strap. So you're looking at maybe like $30, which is not bad at all. But definitely, dude, because when I was doing an investigation, I got a camera in this hand, I got a K2 meter in this hand. So I'm looking down, just to capture, if the K2 is going off or whatever, and you're doing all this, and hey, you wear a GoPro, you're eliminating that camera.
Oh God, could you imagine the POV of David?
It'd be all the way up here.
But my boyfriend is 6'8".
Wow. So that's tall.
You'd be looking at the tree line.
Exactly. So you can imagine having that what you can do with that free hand,
Yeah.
So that's one thing I think we're going to start doing. We're about to start retiring. Because right now we got like 8 cameras. We're about to start retiring maybe 3. And hopefully give those to people, paranormal investigators who are starting up, you
Mhm.
know, who really can't afford to buy anything. So we're just gonna donate them.
I'm thankful that when I started investigating, I did have a second income because I was married. And so I had that disposable income and I don't have that anymore. So now I'm just like, ooh, $60 for a new camcorder. Oh, that would be awesome. But oh, bank says no.
Yeah,
Well,
when I started because I had tried to start my own team way back when, about 7+ years ago. I was like hunting on Amazon. I'm an Amazon guru, and I found a lot of my equipment through Amazon on the cheaper side of things. And so that's how I got a lot of my equipment. And now that
right?
we're working as a team to buy the better equipment, it's been really helpful that all of us have started off somewhere to build our equipment.
Yeah. And like
eBay.
I had with my expendable income, I actually bought one of the $200 ghost hunting beginner kits, and that's where I got the recorder and the
grid lights.
yeah, the grid lights, and oh, I love grid lights. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Yeah, we have 2 of them and the stands. So yeah, and so I was able to get that beginner set for $200.
Yeah, those things, I love them, dude.
Oh, and the motion sensor light. We have a little ball motion sensor light.
Look, cat balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they have one.
The best toys are those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they have one the size of a softball.
I bought the Nerf footballs that light up.
Yeah.
And I take stuff to locations and donate it to the locations all the time.
Those come in handy,
to get the spirits to interact.
I love those things. I mean, I've come so much evidence, you know, just talking to a little ball, you know, having people respond to them. It's cool.
This right here is the best $100 I have spent.
Wow.
This is our frog REM pod. And it has brought the child spirits out on locations.
Wow, that looks nice.
We used it at the cemetery that I was telling you about earlier. And between the frog and she had a K2 meter, and we were having the kids touch the frog and then touch her K2 and then touch the frog and then touch the K2 back and forth, back and forth. So we had kids interacting with our equipment with us.
Wow, that is something, guys.
It was an amazing experience.
Oh, it make you want to cry, you know, because when you're dealing with kids anyway that are moved, that, you know, that are passed on, you're like, oh man.
I think the one kid that made me want to cry the most was when we were at the Jefferson. We were in the attic at the Forgotten Room, and we're sitting in a circle. And I was telling one of my stories from when I started on a team in Connecticut. And next thing you know, next to Adam, I could see a little boy sitting next to him on his knees with his hands in his lap, listening, you know, energetically to our story. And I'm like, this is the kid that was locked in this Forgotten Room and literally was left here to die. And he's happy that we're here and I'm telling this story because he gets a story time. I think that was the hardest one for me, just because it's like you're now able to roam free because they found this and opened it up.
Wow.
And you're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I think that was the hardest one for me, was that one.
Okay. Well, hey guys, tell the world how to get a hold of you. You know, if they want to reach out and talk to Dark Night Paranormal, tell them how to do that. And give them all your information, your social media outlets and all that good stuff, you know, in case they want to come hang out with you.
Well, of course, we have Facebook, Dark Night, and that's NIGHT, Paranormal Texas. We also have an Instagram page, same thing, Dark Night Paranormal Texas. You can get a hold of us through DM on those. We also have an email account where you can reach out to us, and that is
darknightparanormaltexas@gmail.com. We do have a YouTube channel. We're slowly getting our videos up on there as well, and it's Dark Night Paranormal Texas. And that's actually our video currently up is the one me being used as a puppet by one of the spirits at Haunted Hill House. And it's literally as it sounds, as I'm a literal ventriloquist dummy for one of the spirits.
And we are open to private investigations. We want to, if someone is having an issue in their home, they need answers, they need help, reach out to us. We will contact you. We will come help you get answers that you need. We are not in this for money at all. We want answers. We want to give answers. We want to help.
And
So
if we can't help, we'll definitely reach out to someone who can.
yes.
Right. Okay, guys. You know what? It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. I would love to have you back on my show again.
Absolutely.
That's creepy. Okay, anyway. Yeah, hey, like I said, I'd love to have you guys back on the show. You know, in April, we're gonna have a Texas four-corner paranormal sit down. Now, what I'm gonna do is, since you guys know, I'm just traveling around Texas, talking to every paranormal investigator I can find. Now, I am gonna pick 4 from all 4 corners, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk paranormal. It's gonna be a big thing. Hopefully, I would love to pick you guys. If not, no worries, because I'm planning on doing that at least once a month. So if you guys don't get picked the first time, no worries. You know what I'm saying? You guys are in the
We feel you.
Okay. Well, you know, like I said, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Did you guys see that?
I think he says hello.
Who is she?
Who is he?
Well, wait. Who is he?
I don't know, but he's definitely trying to get your attention. So
He-
whatever
he-
zoomed across earlier is now messing with your lights, saying it's time.
Was that you? It definitely got my attention, trust me. Okay. But anyway, hey, nice talking to you guys. Hey, after I upload this to YouTube, you guys are more than welcome to share it to friends and family. Hey, and trust me, if you guys have anybody that wants to come on my show and tell their stories, have them reach out to me. I would love to have them on, you know, and just sit back and relax and enjoy and listen to the conversation and the stories that they have. And I would love to get the other 2 guys, the other members on your team, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of our investigations, we can set it up to where we do a podcast.
Yeah.
And, with the whole team.
That would be great. You know, I would love to meet the rest of you guys. In the meantime, oh man, this is driving me crazy. In the meantime, NSPS TV, Paranormal Podcast, Raw and Uncut is signing off. Hey, world, reach out to these ladies, man. They're great. They got a bunch of stories to tell. So I urge you guys just to reach out and talk to them. Like you say, or you got something going on, reach out to them. You just, you know, if you just want to say hello, just say hello. I'm pretty sure they'll text back. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, NSPS TV, you know what we do. Peace. You guys have a good night now.
You too.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.